Welcome to another edition of The Story Behind the Car, and as I mentioned in the last video, I flew down to Beaumont, Texas in May of 2020 and purchased this truck and then drove it back. And so this is November of 2020, and we're at Lynn's shop, and Lynn is a friend of mine, and we're breaking this truck down. The original intention was to put an LS motor and transmission in it, new rear end, and that was it. We were going to keep, well, I wanted to keep all the sheet metal and the patina. As you can see by the license plate, a friend of ours, his name's Jimmy, and he's a metal fabricator, so he made that plate for me. I used to have a 61 Buick, and he made it for that, actually. But anyway, so we're breaking this down, and the truck morphs into an amazing build. But you can see we removed the hood, and I'm just speeding all this up. There's really no technical information here. It's taking the hood off, undoing the inner fenders, the outer fenders. We're working on the bumper right now, and then there's a cover over the steering column that is in the driver's side inner fender. So we're just breaking this down. I'll slow things down as we get into more of the technical stuff in this. I've got hundreds of videos, and I wanted to put this together and show the final process or the final build. But as I mentioned, I wanted to have this on the story behind the car, because this truck has a great story. You know, flying down to Beaumont, Texas with a $50 one-way ticket that I purchased 3 days before I flew down. You know, that's a heck of a cool story. And then driving back, you know, how many tools you bring, what your tools do you bring with you, so you can troubleshoot anything. And I was fortunate, as I mentioned in the first video, I only had a couple of fan belts go out on me. That was it. And that turns out I think it was the generator was offset a bit, and it was eating belts. But what a great story behind the car. And I purchased a 1965 Ford Falcon two-door wagon off of Bring a Trailer. Oh man, I probably bought that 10 years ago or so, and drove it back from San Diego, and I drove it back on Route 66. And you know what's sad about it is the guy said, "Oh yeah, I'll have my mechanic go through it, make sure it's roadworthy." That part overheated. It took us 9 days to drive from Los Angeles to Cincinnati. Great story, great trip. It was, you know, my wife was with me. She was a trooper, and I didn't know it. She was texting friends, and I didn't know any of this was going on, but she would text things like, "We just got passed by a smart car, you know, everybody's passing us. It's 85 degrees in the car. It's 10 degrees outside," whatever the case was, blow by blow. And she had so many people in on the text message. I'm driving along like I had no idea she was doing that. So here you can see Lynn's grinding the tops of the bolts off, and then used a air hammer to get the bumper cover off. And so we're just removing these front bumper, inner fenders, outer fenders. So anyway, as I go through these videos and find more you know, technical stuff, I'll slow the video down and give more explanation. And we did several things that we thought were right at the time, and then later realized that they were not right. The way we mounted the gas tank and the transmission support. So there we got the front clip off. I ended up selling that front clip as it is right there, and the hood, to a guy, Tim, down in Mississippi. And so I live in St. Louis, so he drove up from Mississippi, and he ended up buying that. And I think I gave him a good deal. He also bought the engine, so he came up for the engine first, and then he asked me about the front clip. and maybe like a year later, year and a half later, he came up for that. And at the time, you know, Lynn was like, yeah, just throw all this stuff away, and I'm chucking stuff into the dumpster. I pulled some of it out, and then I gave some of it to Tim, and then I started looking up pricing and realized that this stuff is valuable. So I started selling stuff, so selling as much as I could to offset some of the expense. So the next video I'll post here. I've got a lot of video to post, so I'll post them randomly, but trying to do as much as I can. That's a 235 straight 6 motor and a 3-speed, 3 on the tree. Great motor. And Tim put it in a 61 he's building down in Mississippi, or he's already completed. He's been on the road for a while. But great process, great learning process, and just really a fun project. Turns out to be a lot more fun than I expected, and a tremendous learning curve. So thanks again for watching. Please like, subscribe, and I'll be posting here more videos on a regular basis.